for tonight for the press conference. We've got our FBI Denver Special Agent in Charge, Dean Phillips, Jefferson County Sheriff, Jeff Schrader, and our Department of Public Safety Director, Stan Hilke. We will also have representatives and executives from other agencies as well, and they will be lined up back behind the three executives that will be speaking tonight. We will have the press conference, and afterwards we're going to have a brief question-answer session. So you may all ask questions very briefly of our executive management. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome our executive management team.
Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Dean Phillips. I first want to start by saying I recognize there is a lot of anxiety in the Denver metro area right now, and we are working this issue. We're going to talk about it a little bit more, but the reason we're having this press conference tonight is to educate the public, educate you, so that we can hopefully relieve some of that anxiety. FBI Miami, our Miami office, learned information this morning about a potential threat to our local community here in Denver. The Miami office passed the information on to the Denver office this morning, and we immediately started assessing the potential threat. We identified Miss Sol Pais as having traveled from Miami. She has made some concerning comments in the past. She has expressed an infatuation with Columbine and the events, the shooting there that happened tragically 20 years ago. And because of that, we were concerned. So we started looking into her actions once she got here. We identified that she departed the airport and went to a store where she did procure a weapon. She obtained a pump-action shotgun and ammunition. She was then taken to an area where she was last seen out towards the foothills. And we have been trying to find her ever since. Because of her comments and her actions, because of her travel here to the state, because of her procurement of a weapon immediately upon arriving here, we considered her to be a credible threat, certainly to the community and potentially to schools. I would like to say that we have no specific information about any specific threat to any particular school. We don't have that sort of credible information, but we do consider her to be a credible threat to the community. I would like to mention at this point that standing behind me, you see some of the representation that we have right now in the law enforcement community. Once we determined that this was a credible threat, we started engaging with our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners in the Denver metro area, and all of them stepped up. This has become a massive manhunt in this AOR, and every law enforcement agency is participating and helping in this effort. We are working diligently, running down a significant number of leads to identify and locate Ms. Pais. We have established a tip line and a website line that you can make tips to. The tip line is 303-630-6227. You can email tips to Denver FBI Tips, all one word, Denver FBI Tips at FBI.gov.
Repeat that number one more time.
The phone number? Yes. 303-630-6227. I would like to again emphasize our priority in this situation is to try and find Ms. Pais. We again consider this to be a credible threat to the community, but we are working diligently with every law enforcement partner, with our prosecutorial partners to locate and deal with this issue. Now I'd like to welcome and introduce Jefferson County Sheriff Jeff Schrader, who'd like to come up and provide some comments as well.
Good evening, everybody. We take these threats seriously. It's certainly not the first threat that we've had that involves Columbine High School or references it. And in that regard, I know that this opens a wound, especially on an anniversary week, for those families who were most deeply impacted by this. And it's because of those that there are those wounds that people have suffered and still have, not necessarily just throughout the Denver metro area, not just through the Columbine community, but probably in other parts of the country, that there are many people that work diligently day in and day out, law enforcement professionals, school safety professionals, school administrators, that are making the very best decisions they can for the sake of the kids who are in schools each and every day. We want our schools to be a safe place for kids to learn, and where they can be productive. And that's why we take this threat seriously today. We have state, local, federal law enforcement partners that are working both behind the scenes and a lot of boots on the ground that are doing what they can to follow up each and every lead that develops, and in some cases, physical searches of areas where Ms. Paez may have last been. I'll wait till the Q&A for any additional comment, but I'd like to turn this over to the Executive Director of the Colorado Department of Public Safety, Stan Hilke.
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Stan Hilke, Executive Director of the Colorado Department of Public Safety. That includes the Colorado State Patrol, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, among other divisions in our department, who are fully engaged with the FBI and with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office in this investigation. In addition to being embedded with the FBI and the Safe Streets Task Force and some of that work, we also have all of our state troopers that are in this area actively engaged in this, as well as our CBI agents that are involved in this as well. I want everybody to know that the governor has been fully engaged in this, has been briefed throughout the day and throughout the evening, and fully supports the FBI in this investigation and has committed our resources to help in this investigation and this manhunt in any way possible. We want to make sure that we're doing that, and that's why there's been an abundance of caution today with regards to some of the actions that you saw with the schools today. For the plans for tomorrow, one of the things that we're going to be doing following this press conference is having some more communication with superintendents in the Metro District here, as well as our law enforcement partners. As it is a dynamic situation throughout the evening and it can change rapidly, we're going to work with them to try to make the very best decision that we can make with them about what should happen with the schools tomorrow. I don't have that answer for you tonight because, again, this is a dynamic situation that can change very rapidly. But we do intend to make sure that we're engaged with the school superintendents, specifically with the Jefferson County School District and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and others, and with our law enforcement partners to make the very best decision. I and the governor both want parents to know that we understand that this is a frustrating situation, that we don't have all the answers, and we don't have answers yet about what's going to happen tomorrow at school, but we intend to give that to the school district so that they can make announcements in the middle of the night and in early in the morning so that the parents will know what to do. We are holding off on that decision and not announcing that right now because it is changing by the minute. We want everybody to know that Colorado changed 20 years ago when Columbine happened, and a lot of the efforts in that change has produced this kind of cooperation that's taken place, and that cooperation is coming together now to make a very dynamic and fluid situation as manageable as that we can make it at the moment. What might occur behind the scenes tonight is conversations with school superintendents and other law enforcement partners about what we will be doing tomorrow morning for sure. But right now, I can't tell you that decision. I'll turn it over to questions.
Phillips, could you talk to me about the decision to wait to put out the BOLO until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You said that you knew she was on the ground. There was concern. She purchased a weapon. Why the decision to wait till 3 o'clock to notify people about her picture and the threat?
We were actually assessing the information and leads that we had earlier today, and we got to a point where we could prepare and put the information out on the BOLO. So the information first came to Miami Division this morning, and then we got it probably mid-morning, and we had to start running down the leads to determine that it actually was a credible threat.
So
Once
you
we're-
didn't know immediately about the purchase of the shotgun until maybe later in the day?
Correct.
We have been hearing that Ms. Paez had been gotten near a school. Can you confirm that?
There was an early lead that someone had gone to a school and potentially tried to obtain access to a student, and we were concerned, based upon the description, that it might have been Ms. Paez, but we ran that lead to ground and ensured that it was not in fact her. So we washed that out.
Any success pinging her cell phone? Does she have a cell phone here that you're aware of? Any of that that you're willing to share right now?
That's part of our investigative techniques. I'd rather not discuss at this point, but we're certainly utilizing every technological means that we can. We're utilizing every investigative technique we can. We're really trying to get the public knowledgeable. You've seen the BOLO, you've seen the pictures, you've seen the descriptions. We're asking for the public's help in identifying and notifying us of her potential whereabouts. Again, we've had a number of leads today. We've been working diligently, a significant number of leads that we're still working, but we want them to come in, so please let us know.
Does she have any connections to Colorado? Is there anything in her background or history that people should be concerned about?
We've not identified any specific connections to Colorado.
Sir, help us connect the dots. The BOLO says not enough probable cause to arrest. You know, she's got a weapon, there's a threat, there might be some mental health issues. What has to happen to get above the bar where if you found her, you'd arrest her?
We're actually working with the U.S. Attorney's Office to develop appropriate charges, and I know that our local counterparts as well are working with the local district attorney's offices to address appropriate charges. But I don't have specific information on charges for you at this point.
Is there enough probable cause tonight to arrest her if she's found?
If we found her tonight, we will certainly hold her for as long as we can legally.
I just want to clarify, she's made worrisome comments about Columbine, but any specific threats?
She did not make any specific threats to a specific school, but her comments, her actions that we have heard about from others tend to cause us great concern that she may pose a threat to a school. Not necessarily Columbine. She has had an infatuation with Columbine and the perpetrators of Columbine. She's made comments to that effect, but she hasn't identified a specific threat to a specific school at this
Got
point.
time for one more question.
Are her parents cooperating?
We're getting help from folks in Miami.
Are the threats written or spoken?
They're mostly spoken.
How long ago were they made?
Okay, that's enough.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much for coming.
Description on a vehicle?
Please get the information out that we're looking for. You've got her picture, her identifiers, or her description. We're really looking for the public's help in identifying her location.
Nothing about
Thank
a
you.
vehicle?
Any description on a vehicle that we can help to alert the public to?
Not right now on a vehicle.
We've got,
Arrest made overnight, how will we find out?
We've got, it's an ongoing investigation, so we're still covering a lot of leads. So some of the questions that you guys have, we're just not able to answer at this time. So my apologies for that, but
If there's arrest overnight, because parents will want to know in that decision to send their kids to school. How will
Absolutely.
you inform people, how will you inform the media if there's an arrest?
we will still be providing updates through Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, through their Twitter. We're going to keep them as the lead agency because it is a joint investigation with all of us. We will get a press release ready so that we can send out to all of you as soon as possible. You have to understand, we've had our resources have been working since pretty early this morning, and so we're starting another shift, and so but we've got limited resources, so we'll try to get information to you as soon as we can. Thank you.
Amy, I need to go to my car and come back in.